Hey friend, if you are feeling overwhelmed trying to run a business while raising a family and you're constantly asking yourself, how do I actually make this work without burning out? You are not alone. I have been there and honestly, I'm kind of currently there right now too. Lately, I have been feeling super burnout. Like I have built so many things in my business, but I have also made it way more complicated than it needs to be. And the truth is, I have really been praying about what my work should look like in this season. I have 3 little kids. We're homeschooling my oldest. We have moved 3 times in the last 3 years. And so our life has changed a lot. And while I love the work that I do, I also know that I love being a mom and I love being at home. And I really crave a slower pace of life. And as I was praying about it recently, I realized I'm the reason that I don't have a slow pace of life. I don't really have an off switch when it comes to business and ambition and like making decisions and making goals and in my life too. And the reality is, as moms, as business owners, we wear a lot of hats, right? And I think I'm just wearing too many right now. I can't really balance them at all like I used to, and that's okay. I am just realizing that I want more peace, more presence in my everyday life. And while that has been my goal for the last 10 years of owning a business, as our seasons have changed, my business has like pivoted slightly to try to keep up with that and adjust for that. But right now I'm really feeling the need to pause, pray, and reflect and almost like dismantle what I've built so that I can set a really strong, firm foundation for this next season and how I want to grow more simply and more sustainably. So I am making a shift because I'm finally realizing that these things that I'm saying I want, like more time at home with my kids, more space to breathe every day, less committed calendars, less busyness in our lives, and a business that I love and serves others and blesses my family. I want all of those things for myself and for you. And so today I wanted to give you a glimpse and take you behind the scenes as I'm simplifying my business, working less, and focusing on the things that truly matter in my life and in my business. Okay, so practically what is changing? The reality is I am doing too much. I don't have enough work hours and I don't want more work hours to do all of the things that I want to do in my business. I have built so many funnels. And because I've worked in so many people's businesses and we've built so many for our businesses, I know that there are so many ways to be successful, especially in an online business. There has never been more opportunity. And that's an amazing thing. It's also a really hard thing for someone like me who doesn't have a shortage of ideas. And personally, I geek out over like the funnels and the strategy and the tech. And so creating new offers, building new systems, scaling funnels, like that stuff is really fun to me. And so it's easy to kind of ideate and have these new ideas and projects going. And honestly, when we were in the RV, when we didn't have kids, like Pete and I did that a lot. One time we actually, when we were watching the first season of Stranger Things, it was right around 2020. And so we created a whole, just a fun project campaign about Jim Hopper for president, sold sweatshirts. We had a landing page that we built in a night and we tested it the next day with ads. And those things were so fun to do, those little creative outlets. And then obviously like more legit business ideas like the Daily Kairos Journal and being able to build that business on the side as we ran our marketing agency. But the reality is that is not the situation that I'm in right now as a mom of 3 little kids and with the changes in our lives the last few years. And so now I'm really trying to focus on scaling back and simplifying so that I can actually serve people better, scale my business easier, and spend more time at home and be more present and be less hurried and be less rushed and overwhelmed. And while I can sit here and easily say, I want all of those things, actually simplifying and actually like putting a hard stop and holding myself back from wanting to do more is actually really hard for me. But I have really been thinking and praying about this so much in the last few months, and I know that that is what I need to do. And so that's part of me sharing it is the accountability piece and putting it out there of I am craving more slowness, more simplicity in my everyday life. And that includes like my motherhood, my homemaking, and my business. So here are just a few of the things that are going to be changing for me. One is less social media. I actually wrote this as a goal the other week in my journal as I was reflecting and praying through all of this. I asked myself the question, I wrote down, what would it look like to grow my business and not rely on Instagram? Instead of worrying about posting all the time or what the next real trend is and getting sucked into another doom scroll for the sake of inspiration, what would it look like if I didn't rely on Instagram? And honestly, I'm praying about not using social media at all. I do love like the personal connection and the lifestyle and kind of showing behind the scenes. And that's likely what my Instagram will look like moving forward because I do like that source of connection. But I have just found the business and marketing side of it really, really draining. So instead of investing a few of my very limited work hours into things like Reels or Instagram and all of that, I'm going to be focusing on one main content channel, and that is going to be YouTube. Now, my podcast, the Work and Worship podcast, is still going as well. I'm still praying through what that will look like in this season. But if you're not already subscribed to my YouTube, definitely go ahead and do that so you can follow along with this journey, see how I'm simplifying, and get practical tools and wisdom for how you can do this for yourself in your own business. The next big thing that I'm changing, and it's like equal parts exhilarating and terrifying for me, is having one core scalable offer. I am going to be cutting back on all the other ideas and offers and programs and focusing in on one main offer with one simple funnel that supports it. So I'm really going to lean into having one core offer, one core funnel, one core content lead gen channel in this next season. I want to commit to that for then at least the next 90 days and see how that feels. Because right now saying that feels scary, it feels intimidating. I also feel like that is what's going to be most sustainable for me moving forward because I don't want to be burnt out. I don't want to begrudge work that I get to do. Like I either want to be excited about the work that I'm doing, knowing that it's helping people, knowing that it's blessing my family, or I'm just not going to do work and I'm going to be at home with my kids and enjoy that time. And I don't think you have to choose. I do fully believe that you can do both well. For me in this season, I'm not doing both well right now. And so that's really what prompted this big change for me. And so that leads me to kind of what's changing overall is shifting this business to really work for me. You guys know that I love systems, I love funnels, I love automations. And so I am going to be leaning into that love a lot right now and building a business that really leans on those systems, those automations, so that I'm able to step away more without affecting the income or the impact. And I'm really excited to bring you along for that journey because I think a lot of people, when they hear automations and funnels and systems, they can think that it feels really robotic, especially in today's world with AI. Like I love me some ChatGPT, but a lot of times what we find if you've been in people's funnels, if you've signed up for things, if you've signed up for an email freebie or webinar opt-in, I am sure you've been in funnels like I have that feel really robotic, that don't have personality. You don't feel connected to the person. And so I am out to prove to you that you can have systems and automations in your funnels, in your business that do the work for you without taking away from who you are and the business that you have and serve people even better, right? Like we can do these things without taking our heart and our personality out of it and out of the business. And so that's the journey, guys. We are going to really be simplifying, scaling back, automating, systemizing, and doing this in a way that helps me to steward my time and my talents and my resources better, and ideally serve you guys and serve my people even better too. And so if this is something that resonates with you, maybe this is something that you have struggled with lately too in your own motherhood journey or just your business in general, I would love for you to join me on this journey. I'm sharing it, like I said, for that accountability and for some encouragement because I almost feel like I needed permission to do this. In the online world, it can feel like if you are not speaking on stages and writing books and hosting masterminds and doing all the things, then your business isn't worth it or it's not successful enough. And I want to give you permission to build a business that works for you and your family and your life and your priorities. You don't have to be everywhere or do everything or have all the offers or hustle nonstop in order to make it work. I want to challenge myself and hopefully you to build a business that allows us to do meaningful work without taking away from our even more meaningful calling in motherhood. Because I do believe that we can do both, and I believe we can do it in a way that aligns with our values and our season of life. So that's what I'm going to be documenting here. I'll be sharing the process, the experiences, the lessons I learn along the way, so you can see what works and probably what doesn't work too. So if you are looking for a way to simplify, streamline, and still grow your business while being present at home, I would love to help you do the same. And if you are listening to this and you want to get started, now I have a free training for you that walks through how to build a profitable business in very part-time hours, and you can check that out in the notes. So if this sounds like your cup of tea or your cup of thrice reheated coffee, be sure to subscribe. And don't forget to grab my free training. It's totally on demand. You just click it and watch it right now and get started. I am so excited to share this journey with you guys. And my hope and prayer is that together we can build businesses that truly work for us, work for our family, and that give us more time and freedom and impact. Are you in?